Welcome to the Dove Show. I appreciate you guys, man. Check me out.
I caught an L at a young age, stretched out. Gave me 24, homie, I got 5 out. Now on YouTube, trying to get a paper route. Coming till you know the deal, we on some grown shit. What's cracking, everybody? New video. I hope that caught that. I brought the echo machine back, echo mic. But anyways, this morning I was trying to think of something new. You know, every day I got to do that. Twice a day, sometimes more, you know, because I have the 2 channels. And my second channel, sometimes, a lot of times when I record something, there's a copyright infringement or copyright protection, so I have to record something else. But anyways, so today on this channel, we're gonna talk about some overzealous COs that I remember. And the 2 I'm gonna talk about today, they were actually partners in 7 Block in New Folsom. And we're gonna start with Mr. Gold, CO Gold. Those of you that were there will remember. There was 2 Golds. There was the younger one and the older one. The younger one did his job, took his job serious, but wasn't trying to be a RoboCop. I think he really thought he was doing like fighting crime. You know, some of the COs believe they're fighting crime. That you know, they don't see that. You know, not no disrespect, but they don't see that they're very high-priced babysitters. You know, some of them really feel like they're fighting crime in there. And the younger Gold made it to the ISU. Got his black badge, and you know, he was all right. He was fair. Okay. Then you had the bitter big brother, the bitter older brother, right? This dude was a trip, man. I remember one time I got a package, right? And I didn't know I had a package coming. I mean, I knew I had a package coming. I didn't know it was going to be there that day, right? So I didn't have a laundry bag to put my stuff in, right? So they called over the PA on the yard for me to go get my package. So I was like, oh shit. So me and a homie walked the lap, hit 7 Block, and that day Gold happened to be on the gun, on the tower. He's a yard gun, right? So I'm pushing the thing, boom. And he looks down at me, and he just looks back at the yard. So I'm like, man. And the homie's waiting on the track. I'm in front of the building. He's on the track in front of the building, though. And so I push the button again. He makes sure he looks down at me, makes eye contact with me, sits back and watches the yard, right? I said, hey, Gold, they just called me for a package. Can you let me in? That fool said, I'll go down there and whoop your ass right now. He said he was gonna come down and whoop my ass. I said, well, then get on down here then. And then when we're done, give me my bag. And he was like, you want me to go down there right now? And I said, why don't you open the concrete yard and we just go out there? You know what I mean? I told him, I'll toss you up and then I can get my package, you know? And he was like, man, this and that. His job was to open the door, let me get my stuff. You know, they called me over the PA. He heard it, but you know, he must have been having a bad day. And remember, this is when I first started my time, so I was a little ass dude, right? So I guess he thought maybe he could win that one, but he didn't come down. He didn't open the concrete yard. And then, anyways, during our exchange, the homie that was waiting for me was actually an older homie. So then he walked up and he was like, hey, you know, you better bring enough for 2, you know. And so he broke it down. He let me go in and then came out and got my package. So that was just one little quick incident with Gold, right? I laughed about it. He peed on himself, right? So I didn't push the issue for what. But here's how special Gold was. So you could have like, say a new dude came in, you know. I never saw him do it to the blacks, but he would do it to the raza and sometimes the whites, but mainly the raza. So let's say a youngster moved in, right? Let's say he's in cell 107, right? Just to say a cell. Say he's in cell 107. The dudes in 106 both have jobs, like in PIA or wherever they worked, but the cell's gonna be empty until around 2:30 or so, 2:15. That dude Gold would slide up in the 106, the empty cell, because they're at work, nobody's in there. But he'll slide in that cell when the new vato that's in 107 is somewhere else, like in the shower or on yard. But he will make sure he's gonna slide into 106 and he's gonna hide under the bunk. This dude was treacherous. He would hide under the bunk. 106, 107 comes in, he's doing his bird bath and all that. And Gold would actually sit in there and he would pop up and he would get in the vent. And he'd be like, hey homie, hey, when you can you give me the, and he would ask for like dope or do you have that pedazo still? Do you have that knife? This dude was really trying to, he would try to get people. Like, hey homie, hey, go get that outfit for me. When you come out for showers, go get that outfit for me. You know what cell it's in, right? And he would just throw it out there. And if a vato didn't know better, he's like, oh, you talking about the homie? Then he would go and hit that cell. That's how treacherous that dude Gold was, man. I never saw another CO as treacherous as him to do that. His brother, though, I'll tell you one thing. Like I said, his brother really thought he was fighting crime. His brother got into the ISU. Again, those were the black badges. That's the investigative services unit. They're the ones that go after people, investigate cops. I don't know about the cops, and I take that back. But they're the investigators, right? That dude used to have a big stick. This is the other one, the other goal. And he would have a mirror on it. And he would come on the back of the buildings, right? Outside of the yard. And he would look into the bottom cell. And if you didn't see him there, then he would know, like, okay, cool. And he would lift that pole and that mirror, and he would look into the second tier cell. He'd try to catch people. Back then, it wasn't cell phones. So he would try to catch people maybe making weaponry, cutting lockers, getting high, cutting up dope, bagging dope, whatever, right? And he would do it. He would go cell by cell. He would make it past that first cell. He would go to the next one until somebody, because somebody's always watching. I used to always have stuff in my window to where you're not looking in like that, Blair. But and most of the cells, they're actually painted, but some of them weren't. The window. And those are the cells he would go to. But as soon as somebody would see him, they'd be like, hey, Gold's back there. Then he would take off. Like, all right. Now, I'm going to tell you another little incident. This is a CO named Sims. He was Gold's partner. Fat, angry Gold. That Gold. And I remember one day, Sims was always quiet, man. Never gave a problem. And it was a weekend. Back then in New Folsom, I've mentioned it before, you used to be able to get out of your cell basically anytime you wanted back then, until the 96 riot. Then they started, the whole CDC started clamping down. I think they made it to where you could only have 200 people on the yard. And then after the Pelican Bay one, they changed it to 120 on the yard at the time, right? But, so back then in New Folsom, on the weekends, that was workers' yard. If you didn't have a job, if you were A2B, they call it A2B, A2 bum. You're stuck in your cell on the weekend, right? You only get yard Monday through Friday, and they had weekend worker yard. So you could come out if they released yard at 8 in the morning. you could be on that yard from 8 in the morning till 2:45 when they call yard recall, the second yard recall, right? If you wanted to come in, there was an inline and outline. Inline at 12 o'clock, outline at 12:30. And I remember it was a hot day, and a bunch of us said, man, let's go in at inline and we'll come back out at outline. A lot more stayed out, but there was a few of us in my building, 7 building, right? About 3 or 4 of us. So we decided we're gonna go in. And for whatever reason, Sims told us to step to the side, right? He's in the tower, and he's like, hey, you guys step to the side. He goes, I'm letting these guys in right now. And we're like, yeah, we want to get in too. He's like, yeah, well, wait. You know, you guys are coming in last. So we're like, what the hell's going on with this cat? And so everybody went in, and then he closed the door. He closed the door, right? And he said we couldn't go in because we were late. And we're like, what do you mean we're late? You told us to wait. You know what I mean? And then when everybody went in, we tried to go in. So he started talking crazy. Okay, my Sally was with me, and my Sally was one of the main dudes on the yard at the time, right? So they get into an exchange of words. And Sims was a floor cop, just like Gold was. But during yard, they would send one to the top, right? To be the yard gunner, so that the cop in the control booth can be monitoring the sections, running showers, whatever, running medical, whatever he's got to do, right? So my Sally tells Sims, you're pretty tough with that gun right now, but you're forgetting you got to come back to the floor today. And when you do, I want you to get at me the way you're getting at me right now. Get at any of us the way you're getting at us, but do it down here, you know. And Sims was like, all right, I'll be down there in a little while. And we're like, okay. So we peeled off, bam, went back up to the top of the yard, kicking it. And Sims came outside. I mean, look, I know it's funnier for me because I was there and I'm trying to paint the picture for you guys. But check this out. This is a trip. So all the raza just so happened to be at the table, right? Like everybody discussing something that had nothing to do with Sims. We look up and we see that Sims has joined. There's like a bunch of cops. Sims must have called all of his buddies on the floor and said, hey, you guys come out here. There's gonna be an incident with the Southerners right now. They called me out, this and that. So I ain't no punk, I'm gonna come out. Whatever he said to them. Anybody that's been on the yard in B Yard in New Folsom, you know where the Southerners are at. There's there's a rail right there, there's the table, and then there's a drinking fountain right there, there's a handball course, okay? Sims and all his buddies started forming up where the drinking fountain was, which is right there in the Southern Mexicans area, right? And we didn't realize that Sims was in the pile, right? We all just, it was just a fluke thing that everybody was at everybody, man, was at the table talking. And we look over, and then my Sally goes, there's Sims. Does this fool want pedo or what? Because he actually came down. So when he said that, imagine everyone in that pile around that table looked over at Sims and all the COs. There's about 15 of them, right? But this was funny to me. When everybody looked over there, you know, we looked like, what? Like mad dog, like, I know these huras. And when we looked at them, we swear to God, the COs looked at us and like started shaking their heads like, man, and they like walked off on Sims like, hey, this is gonna be your problem, not ours. And when they did that, and they all started peeling off, you could see Sims was scared to death. Now he's like, oh, damn. And then my Sally said, let's mind fuck this dude. And he goes, we're not gonna do nothing to him. He goes, it's already been done. Look at him. He's devastated. So when Sims got on the track, we got on the track and started following him, right? And you know, in the Olympics, when you see them power walkers and they got their hips like, Sims was power walking. Wait. He started power walking, gentlemen. This one was power walking to the program office, right? And that's all we wanted, just to mess with his head, man. And we let him go. This was around the time that Salinas Valley was opening up. And I remember they were doing sign-ups. Whoever wants to go to Salinas Valley, sign up. And I remember the homies we used to clown, the vatos that were like, I'm signing up. And we're like, you signing up for a shoe, fool? You might as well just stab somebody here. Do a pegada here. You don't got to go all the way over there and then do it over there. Because, you know, when a yard opens, it's, you know, you got to fight for the area of the yard that you want. But anyways, so one of the homies is like, hey, I want to go down to the program office. Back then, they didn't have the gate around the program office yet. That happened after them East Coast did their thing over there in Calipat 2 times. And, excuse me, after the second one, that's when they put up gates around all the program offices everywhere in the state. So the homie's like, I want to go sign up. And they go, the sign-up's in the program office. And so me and my Sally were like, we'll go with you. We'll walk with you. So we go down there, man. And we didn't know Sims was sitting there. We walked, all 3 of us walked in at the same time. Sims was like, I don't think this is as funny for you guys as it is for me. But I remembered that today. And I said, you know what, let me tell that story, man. Because, you know, people ask about the COs in prison, how they are out here in California. And in all honesty, the majority of them, especially on a level 4 180, they come in to get that money. It's great money that they make to do a minimum amount of work. Guards only get touched when they disrespect somebody. For the most part, like I mentioned in other videos, if they work second watch, they come in, unlock the supply closet, go in their office, turn the light off, and go to sleep, because they understand the yard is gonna run itself. They're just there to pick up the pieces when the shit goes bad. Anyways, that's my video for today. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, make sure you hit the like, share the video with somebody. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down and let me know what you didn't like about it. Everybody be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out.